Hi everyone, welcome to Investing with Value. So today we're looking at Rocket Lab and I'm going to give you 5 really good reasons why this company is worth looking at and why you might be interested in buying this stock. So as you know, the stock has been doing really well. Friday it jumped 12.5% and that was on volume of 38, basically 39 million shares. And that's much higher than the average, which is 12 million shares. So you can see there's a lot of people buying, a lot of momentum in the stock, but that's not the reason to be buying. Like, volume is a really good indicator, but I don't want that to be a reason why you would be interested in buying a stock. So apparently there was a report circling around saying Rocket Lab's engines for Neutron were not holding up. There was apparently an explosion and they don't last more than a few seconds when they're turned on. But Rocket Lab was really good. They just posted up a YouTube video of that engine firing, and it goes on for quite a while. As you can see while I'm talking, I put up this video and you can see it's just going on and on and on. So it's really awesome that they just back up what they with the tech. They don't come out with a statement saying, oh, actually that report is wrong and whatnot. They just put out a video and they just get straight to it. So I think that just really proves, how good they are, that they actually get stuff done, and they just let their work do the talking, which is, as you can see now, when everything's starting to click together for the stock, it's really clicking and it's really showing in the share price. So now for the second reason. So what is the second reason? Well, the second reason is that it's been recently included in an index that focuses on defense and aerospace. So on the 20th of September, there was a rebalancing of this index and Rocket Lab was added to this index. So this index has probably around about 55 stocks, which is not it's not a very large kind of index, but it in a sense it has a lot of influence. So here we've got ETF, which is focused on basically this index, and it holds net assets of $3.8 billion. So all of a sudden, when this index decides they want to add Rocket Lab, then all of a sudden they have to buy Rocket Lab. So there's no choice about it. And this was included in the index on the 20th of September. So from the 20th of September, they would have had a get-go to go, we need to start buying this stock. And they're going to be buying a fair bit of it, considering the net assets of this company is $3.8 billion. Then basically they have to allocate a certain percent, possibly not a very large percent, but even a small chunk is going to make quite a difference in terms of the stock, which I think it's had I think some of the buying, especially the volume, as we noted at the start, why the volume is so high. Like, I think that is one of the big reasons of why the stock's going up as well, because there's a lot of buying, and I think this index is one of the reasons. So what's the third reason? So the third reason is they've got an analyst who recently upgraded the stock. Normally I'd put a grain of salt on what analysts kind of say, but this analyst was from Key Banks, and they put a price target of $11 per share. So why does that matter? Well, firstly, these guys are one of the biggest bank-based financial services companies in the US. So all of a sudden, they're going to be telling their clients, hey, look at this stock because we think it's worth $11 and it's currently trading at less than $11. It's trading at $9.78. Would you like to earn a little bit more? And, we think this company has a big future ahead of it. And then they're going to start recommending the stock, which is going to make people want to buy it because they're recommending through people who don't know how good the company is, but they would take the word of the person kind of advising them. So hence, I think there'll be some extra buying from that as well. So another part that's worth looking at is the short interest. So this is dating back from 2 weeks ago. So I don't have fresh short interest numbers, but back in the 15th of September, short interest was about 58 million shares. So 58 million shares is quite a lot of shares, especially when you consider that the average traded volume is around 12 million shares. So all of a sudden, if the stock's moving up and people want to cover, they're going to really pay up. So I think we're looking at some really, really good conditions where, firstly, they've been included in an index, which this ETF has to buy. They've been upgraded by an analyst, which means a lot of their clients are going to be recommending the stock. And at the start of the video, how there's some people might have had some worries around the Rocket Lab engine, and they would have thought, oh, this report could be credible, and I'm kind of worried about the company. But now that the company's come out with this video of this engine that works really, really well, then that really gives people confidence to also buy into the stock. And then add in that there's a big, big short interest in the stock, and people have to cover or they risk losing a lot of money, because this 58 million shares, that basically at that time the shares were around $7.50. So you're looking at a price of $9.78 right now. So all of a sudden, people who are shorting the stock are losing a fair bit of money, and they're going to want to buy a lot of the shares back to just cover their position, really. So all of a sudden, you've got a lot of buyers in the stock, hence why there's a lot of momentum, and I don't think this is the end. Like, this all is quite fresh, like within the last 2 weeks, that we see things really changing, a lot of interest in buying the stock. And the last reason is, like, the company is really just getting on with things and doing really impressive work in general. So on the 20th, they launched their 53rd Electron mission, which is pretty impressive, and they've launched 5 satellites. So it's just business as usual, and things are going really, really well. And also recently, on the 26th of September, they completed a second spacecraft for Varda Space Industries. And this one was pretty cool because they are the first in-space pharmaceutical processing and hypersonic Earth re-entry logistics company. So you look at the work that's being done and breakthroughs. On a daily basis, this company is working on really, really impressive stuff. Never mind the longer goal of getting Neutron. Once Neutron gets made and is going commercial, then that really changes the company. So I think that could have just been another reason why. But in terms of the shorter term, the 5 reasons that I've mentioned is what I think is going to really give the stock some really good momentum. A lot of people buying, and it's for good reasons, because the company is performing, people are getting really impressed with the company, and have been included in indexes, so there's even more buying. And I think this will go on for a little bit longer. Of course, eventually there's going to be a bit more profit takers than buyers, and the stock's going to have to just slowly consolidate, but I think it's still got quite a bit of momentum given the reasons that I've just mentioned before. So yeah, that's what I really have to say in terms of the momentum for the stock and why you might consider buying at this level, because I think there's a lot more buying to happen. And also I think the company is going to continue to perform, as you can see by the last two kind of articles, like the 53rd Electron mission. That's 53 missions have flown. So, and they're just going to keep doing more as time goes. And yeah, they're building a lot of spacecraft, and that's making about 2/3 of their revenue, and that's going to continue to build. So things are looking really impressive of the company. Yeah, so let me know if you've got any comments or questions, post below. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.